Harvey Weinstein, the Hollywood mogul, the man who dominated the Oscars. For decades, his name was synonymous with absolute power in the Hollywood film industry. But behind the glamour was a dark secret. In 2017, the world was shocked when a series of shocking allegations were revealed. Sexual harassment, assault, even rape, spanning his entire career. More than 80 women bravely spoke out. How could a predator be so openly rampant for so long? Who knew? Who was silent? This is the story of the fall of an empire, the scandal that sparked the Me Too movement and changed Hollywood forever. Join us as we unpack this case. We are facing one of the most shocking stories in modern Hollywood history. A story of absolute power, but the curtain has been pulled back to reveal a naked and disgusting truth. A serial sexual predator who used his position to destroy the lives and careers of countless women. As we have heard from the documentary, more than 60, if not hundreds, of women have bravely come forward, accusing Weinstein of acts ranging from sexual harassment to assault and rape. The number is not only staggering but also alarming, painting a horrifying picture of the scale and frequency of the crimes. Harvey Weinstein's story began not in the glittering lights of Hollywood, but in Buffalo, New York. Weinstein, along with his brother Bob, founded Miramax in the late 1970s, initially focusing on distributing independent and art house films that the major studios had overlooked. They portrayed themselves as outsiders, true art enthusiasts. "We can do what we think is good," Harvey once declared, "as long as we do good work." This passionate artist facade helped mask early warning signs. Paula Wachowiak and Susan Maher Wilson, two young women who worked on Weinstein's first film, The Burning, 1981, recounted similar experiences. Weinstein asked them to come to his hotel room, showed up completely naked, and solicited massages. This creepy normalization provided fertile ground for Weinstein's behavior to escalate. As Miramax moved to New York and found success with films like Sex, Lies, and Videotape, 1989, Weinstein's power grew. He became a force to be reckoned with, someone who could turn unknown actors into stars and win prestigious awards. But with that power came a toxic work environment. Paul Webster, who joined Miramax in 1995, described the company as a cult run by Harvey as a dictator. He admitted that he knew Weinstein was dangerous, but made a deal with the devil because he wanted to be at the center of where I wanted to be. His admission underscores a stark reality. Many in the industry were willing to turn a blind eye to misconduct in exchange for career opportunities. As Weinstein's power grew, especially after Disney acquired Miramax in 1993, his pattern of abuse became more explicit and brazen. The story of Katherine Kendall, a young actress in the early 90s, is a prime example. What began as a promising encounter in Miramax's offices quickly turned into a trap. The private movie invitation turned out to be a casual screening, followed by an offer to take her home, stopping at his apartment. What happened next has become a familiar scenario in many victims' accounts. A conversation about movies to create intimacy, then Weinstein disappearing and returning in a loose bathrobe, or even completely naked, with the offer of a massage. When Kendall refused and tried to run away, she felt likely to not get away. The fear of being crushed if she stood up to Weinstein kept her quiet. Sean Young, an actress who made her name with Blade Runner, recounted a similar experience after filming Love Crimes, 1992. She said Weinstein exposed her genitals in her office. Young's blunt and somewhat mocking response, "I'm not really going to pull that out because it's really not pretty," may have cost her her career. Weinstein denies this story outright, but Young never worked for Miramax again, which is a testament to his formidable power of retaliation. Zoe Brock, a young model who met Weinstein at the Cannes Film Festival in 1998, fell into a similar trap. What began as a promise of a party with friends at the posh Hotel du Cap turned into a private meeting in Weinstein's room. The plot repeated itself. Weinstein, stripped naked, solicited a massage. Brock tried to resist, locking herself in the bathroom. What was interesting and sad about Brock's story was Weinstein's subsequent reaction. "Oh, people cry and say, 'You don't like me because I'm fat.' This is a psychological manipulation tactic, an attempt to make oneself into a victim in order to elicit pity and deflect attention from one's own wrongdoing." Notably, when Brock recounted this story to his agent and others in the industry, the common response was, "Oh, yeah, Harvey." A tacit acceptance, a sign that his behavior was an open secret. How was Weinstein able to maintain this behavior for so many years without being exposed? The answer lies in a complex machine designed to maintain silence. This machine includes many parts that work in parallel: non-disclosure agreements and financial settlements. The story of Zelda Perkins, Weinstein's assistant in the late 90s, is a prime example. After a colleague was sexually assaulted by Weinstein at the Venice Film Festival, they decided to quit their jobs and seek legal advice. However, they realized that bringing Weinstein to justice was almost impossible due to a lack of evidence. Their only option was to seek damages. They reached a settlement worth around £250,000, with terms that required Weinstein to undergo therapy and could be fired if he continued to pay to settle similar cases. But the price was an extremely strict agreement that forbade them from speaking about anything related to Weinstein's behavior or their time at Miramax. Perkins described it as a deeply personal agreement, especially for her colleagues. Weinstein used the agreements and large financial settlements as a tool to buy the silence of his victims. He saw it as a cost of doing business, allowing him to continue his behavior without fear of retribution. Although Weinstein claimed there had been fewer than 10 settlements in 30 years and that the agreements did not prevent anyone from reporting to the police, the reality was that the psychological burden and legal binding of the agreements created a huge barrier. The fear of career destruction was an extremely effective weapon. Actresses like Katherine Kendall and Sean Young understood that confronting Weinstein meant ending their futures in Hollywood. His power over who got into movies and who was nominated for awards was absolute. Even journalists were not immune to the intimidation. Kim Masters, when confronted by Weinstein and asked about the rape of women rumors, found him to be neither shocked nor outraged, an unusual response that suggested a confidence in his own untouchability. Tom Ajami, an investigative attorney for Amfar, was directly threatened by Weinstein. "Be careful, Tom, because I've been investigating you and you're not very clean." Weinstein understood the power of the media. He built close relationships with tabloids and gossip writers. According to Benza, they had a deal. Benza would provide information about other celebrities in exchange for Weinstein helping to cover up unfavorable stories about him. It was a quid pro quo system, where the truth about Weinstein was buried under rumors about others. In addition, Weinstein had a powerful PR team and private investigative firms like K2. In the case of model Ambra Batalana Gutierrez in 2015, K2 was reportedly hired to dig up her past, and negative information about her was quickly leaked to the tabloid press, turning her from a victim into a blackmailer and prostitute in the public eye. This victim-shaming tactic was successful in undermining her credibility and contributed to the Manhattan District Attorney's Office's decision not to prosecute Weinstein, despite having audio evidence. The silence and complicity of the film industry. Perhaps the most important factor that helped Weinstein maintain his empire for so long was the silence, ignorance, and sometimes complicity of those around him. Many actresses said they told their managers about Weinstein's behavior, but did not receive the support they needed. Leading talent agency CAA later apologized. Executives at Weinstein's company, such as Tom Prince, have admitted to having suspicions about the company paying large sums to bring unknown actresses to film sets, but have said they knew nothing. Even the board of directors of the Weinstein Company, despite being aware of the allegations and making changes to Weinstein's contract, such as a code of conduct on sexual harassment and financial penalties, in the wake of the 2015 Ambra Gutierrez incident, continued to extend his contract, showing that business interests took precedence over ethics and employee safety. And even top stars, who regularly praised Weinstein on the Oscar stage, contributed to the aura of obfuscation. Although money, as Meryl Streep later said, they had no idea, the silence of those with voice and power inadvertently enabled the abuser. Despite the elaborate silencing machine, cracks began to appear. Seth MacFarlane's joke at the 2013 Oscars, "Congratulations, 5 ladies no longer have to pretend to be attracted to Harvey Weinstein," was a rare public quip that showed how widespread the rumor had become, though the response was still deafening silence. The 2015 Ambra Batalana Gutierrez affair, while not resulting in criminal charges, was a key turning point. For the first time, Weinstein faced a police investigation, and a compromising recording was made public. His $1 million settlement showed the seriousness of the situation. It also prompted the board of directors to take action, albeit not aggressively enough. Attorney Tom Ajami's investigation into Weinstein's shady financial dealings at an AmFAR charity event also revealed more about his character. Weinstein's response to Ajami's confrontation, from threats to begging to sign an NDA, revealed the desperation of someone trying to plug growing holes. Finally, in October 2017, 2 separate but nearly parallel investigations by The New York Times by Jodi Kantor and Megan Twohey and The New Yorker by Ronan Farrow struck a fatal blow. With evidence gathered over months, including detailed testimony from numerous victims, including celebrities like Ashley Judd and Rose McGowan, internal documents, and insider information, 2 respected newspapers have exposed the true scale of the scandal. The resonance of the 2 articles, combined with the backdrop of the Me Too movement that was beginning to spread, has empowered scores of other women to speak out. Harvey Weinstein's empire collapsed in a matter of days. He was fired from his own company, expelled from the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, and faced criminal investigations in New York, Los Angeles, and London, as well as civil lawsuits. The fall of Harvey Weinstein was more than just the end of a single career. It became a symbol of the systemic abuse of power in the entertainment industry and beyond. It exposed a toxic culture where talent and profit is often placed above morality and dignity, where the powerful are shielded and victims are doubted, blamed, and silenced. The case that forced Hollywood to make real changes is still a long way off. However, the fight is not over. Harvey Weinstein, through his spokesperson, continues to deny all allegations of non-consensual sexual behavior, saying it is a confusion between inappropriate behavior or consensual sex that is later regretted and false accusations of criminal behavior. Lawsuits are still ongoing. The Weinstein Company has gone bankrupt and been sold. Harvey Weinstein's story is a painful reminder of the dark side of power and the dangers of silence. What do you think of this star? Leave your comments below. We hope you find this video helpful. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching this video, and see you in the next videos. Bye.